we played Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. Can you believe it, Blessing?
I still can't believe it.
It's kind of unreal.
Yeah.
After almost a decade. I'll never forget sitting at the old studio, space in the Nintendo Direct, and all of a sudden the 4 starts coming in, and it's, or no, it was the Samus logo, the S, and it starts coming in, and it was like, oh my God, it's happening. And then the 4, and it was like, oh my God, we're about to play Metroid Prime 4 on the Nintendo Switch. And then it got really bad situations, right?
Had to restart development.
Yeah.
A long wait.
Long wait. And I remember when the debut happened, like, I was popping off. I'm like, oh my God, it's Metroid. Oh my God, it's Prime 4. Oh my God, it's going to be retro. Oh, it's not retro? Huh. Who's it going to be? That's kind of weird. And then after all that.
Did we ever learn who it was?
I don't think so. But we know who it is now.
Yeah,
it's retro,
It's
baby.
retro.
Let's just go back to what works. Of course, I'm Tim Gettys. This is Blessing Adeoye Jr.
Hello, it's me.
We've been playing Nintendo Switch 2 games all day. We're giving you all of our hardware impressions, software impressions, everything in between. If you want to hear us talk about Mario Kart World, you can do that. If you want us to talk, if you want to hear us talk about our very first time holding the system and all of that, you can do that. And of course, you can also check out Donkey Kong Bonanza.
There we go.
I got it right. Finally.
He put some respect on it.
Roger, do it.
Bandai Namco.
We're involved in that. Bandai Namco, man, their hands in everything. You know what I mean?
they're doing
Super Smash Brothers, all that too. Yeah, exactly. Patapon, like
Freedom Wars remastered.
Interesting stuff. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Anyways, we got to play Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, and I want to hear all of your thoughts on this, Bless.
Yeah. Well, this is a fascinating one. First off, even though this demo was probably the same length as the other demos we got to do, somehow not long enough of a demo for this game. I needed more time with this, right? Like, it felt real quick. We got to do a whole section, and then we ended with the boss fight. And once I finished it, I was like, oh, that's it. That's all. And so, like, my impressions feel light, even though I'm sure as we talk about it, we're gonna get deep. I think first thing to point out is that the setup that we got to play with the Joy-Con as a mouse. And the dope thing about it is it's very seamless you can play with the mouse functionality, and if you pick it up, you can play with the 2 Joy-Cons, right? It is that seamless. It's not a button that you press. It's not a setting. You pick it up and start controlling, and you then play with the 2 Joy-Cons. So I was going kind of back and forth with that. Playing this game with the mouse functionality, extremely smooth. And that part of that is the 120 FPS.
120 frames per second in 1080p. It still looked great. We were playing on the TV. That was the only way we were allowed to play this. We couldn't play it in handheld. We couldn't play it in 4K.
Yes.
And any of that stuff, even though they're saying it's 4K 60. And I mean, I was incredibly impressed.
I was so impressed.
I felt the 120 frames. What about you?
Yeah, no, for sure. Like, this thing felt smooth as hell, especially playing with the mouse mode, right? Like, that was the thing that blew me away. But honestly, even before getting to gameplay, the cutscenes that we saw blew me away as well, just in terms of the visual fidelity of it. I was looking at it, I was like, wow, this is next Nintendo gen right here. You know what I mean? Like, this is,
and the irony is
Switch
it's
2.
not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We were playing on Switch 2. But yeah, it's funny. But visually, to me, it's very interesting because you compare this. I saw a lot of people after the Direct last week comparing Metroid Prime 4 gameplay to Halo 4 gameplay. And Halo 4 just looks way better.
Yeah.
But it doesn't because the art style. There's something about this style that, like, they if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
And I think that they kind of just really nailed what they had to with this visually.
Yes. And so that's my thing is once you get into gameplay, it is 1000% Metroid Prime. And that is, I think, the best thing, right? As somebody who played Metroid Prime Remastered a couple years ago for the first time and was blown away by it, this felt like getting back to form, right?
Yep.
You know, it was it's tough to talk about, like, the level experience that we had, because it really was hey, here's how to play Metroid real quick. Yep. You know what I mean? Hey, shoot the door to open the door.
We essentially got to play what we've seen in the Metroid Prime trailers.
Yes.
Like in the specifically that
and it was kind of a tutorial section as well.
Yes, exactly.
And I don't think I learned much of, like, things that haven't been in other Metroids. They give you, like,
it was a mouse mode tutorial. You know what I mean?
Honestly,
like, it did feel kind of that way.
I will say they give you the things that you want to have pretty quickly, right? Of, like, all right, morph into get into the morph ball. All right, here's how you drop a bomb. All right, here's how you shoot a door. All right, here's how you scan and all that stuff, right? So they give you that stuff pretty quickly to introduce it, and then you get into the boss fight, and they do put you to the test. But in all of that, it just felt right. And that's both in mouse mode, which we can talk about in a second, but then also playing on Joy-Cons, right? The control scheme is what you expect it to be, and it just felt right. It felt like Metroid. Mouse mode was an interesting thing. One, because it did feel right, but also we talked about this in the hardware impressions, broke my brain.
Me too.
As far as, all right, so I'm pressing the buttons while I'm in mouse mode. I'm pressing the A to jump on the right Joy-Con, even though I have it being held sideways.
Oh, you know what? In the hardware conversation, we were asking if the mouse stuff switched
the controls.
It did, because it switches it so that jump is on your left trigger now. You can use your left hand to jump. You could also do other things, but like, it did add functionality to jump a different way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. But even still, right? Like, I had the thing every now and then of, even though I'm in mouse mode, I'm using the right analog stick, and the right analog stick doesn't work in mouse mode, right? And so it's a weird thing to get used to, though over the course of however long, like, I'm sure it's going to be a pretty quick process to get used to it.
I think that if you just commit to one of the control styles,
Yeah.
it's going to work and make sense.
And I think the mouse mode is a very legitimate way to play. If you're looking at this and you want to play with mouse, and I keep wanting to say mouse keyboard, but mouse and left Joy-Con, I think it's a very legitimate way to play.
The dream, some would say. You know what I mean? For years, I've been trying to pioneer this experience, and now we finally have it. Not exactly how I want it. I was saying this is the hardware thing. I don't love how the Joy-Con feels as a mouse, just where the buttons are placed. And at the end of the day, there's an analog stick just jutting out in the way of your hand, right? And it's very hard to not hit that when you're just playing the game naturally.
You're holding a Joy-Con.
And that's the thing too, is like, you put a mouse down and the mouse just stays where it is. You put the Joy-Con down, it might fall over. You know what I mean? You kind of need to like keep your hand locked there. And it's a little just different. Maybe people get used to it. I don't see myself playing this way. Having said that, playing this way is pretty awesome.
Pretty cool.
It feels amazing. The 120 frames per second with the mouse, you're moving around, it is pinpoint accurate. And it was like, man, I don't know that I need this for a Metroid game, but having it kind of opens up a lot of opportunities. There's a lot of doors we would get to that, you know, it's tutorial, you kind of go to the door, you scan it, and then like 4 different like colored circles pop up, and you need to like shoot each one to open the door. And I was like, I'm gonna do this with mouse mode. I think that'll be fun. And it kind of was fun. I think it kind of added to the experience there. Simple little thing, tutorial mode, but I was like, this feels good.
My nitpick with Metroid Prime specifically, out of all the first person shooters, right? Metroid Prime 4 with mouse mode is Metroid Prime has that lock-on function.
Yep.
And so you lock on, and bullets will automatically like fly to the enemies that you're fighting. But like, I don't know. There's something about it that feels weird with the mouse precision, but I don't really need the mouse precision.
Exactly.
Because I am locked on. So that's the one thing where I think that is really what broke my brain. It was the fact that I wanted to press the buttons, but then also like that lock on feels a little bit weird with the mouse.
And again, that is the brain breaking situation. But I also found once I like pushed through that, I found some opportunities to do some pretty interesting gameplay stuff with that, where I'm like, I was kind of impressed with the amount of enemies that were in an area at once and how big the area would be. So I'd lock on to one enemy on the top left, and I'm like, I do like charge a shot, shoot it, and then whip the mouse over, because I knew there was another enemy on like the bottom right. And was able to just get to him fast, pinpoint it, and then lock onto him. And it just felt a lot faster and quicker than using an analog stick to do it. And then being able to like lock on so it kind of like pulled it to him. It felt really badass. You know what I mean? Which I think is pretty legit, because like that's another great thing about especially early Metroid. It's that power fantasy of I'm super powered up, I have all the things, let's go, before it's probably taken all away from you. But speaking of taking things away from you, I'm taking this conversation away from you until we get through a word from our sponsors. This episode's brought to you by Lost Skies. What would you do if you woke up and the world around you was now floating high in the clouds? Lost Skies is the new open-world survival-like that puts the power of exploration and choice in your hands. Use the physics-based grappling hook, glider, and your own custom airship to traverse the remains of this fractured world and uncover its mysteries. You and up to 5 friends will harness the power of ancient technology to survive the hostile islands that scatter the horizon and the threats that lurk in the sky itself. The battles are intense, so it's up to you to build a skyship to shelter you in fierce storms and take the battle to gigantic monsters. Want to take a break from fighting in the skies? Use the intuitive island creator and share your builds with the community. Head over to Steam and wishlist Lost Skies today and discover what's lurking beyond the horizon. This episode's brought to you by Monaco 2. Gather your crew, plan your heist, and let the chaos unfold in Monaco 2. Return to Monaco, a city teeming with excellent scores and gullible marks ripe for getting parted from their prized possessions. Go it alone or tackle heists as a team of 4 with online and local co-op. Just remember, even the best laid plans can blow up in your face, so you'll have to stay on your toes. Monaco 2 is the sequel to the cult classic Monaco. What's yours is mine that expands on every aspect of the game. New characters bring unique abilities and playstyles to help you escape the heat. And with new modes and procedurally generated levels, every run is full of surprises. The heist is on when Monaco 2 arrives on Steam, Xbox, and PlayStation on April 10th. Y'all know how important it is to wishlist these games. It helps the developers so much, so please wishlist Lost Skies and Monaco 2. This episode is brought to you by Rocket Money. You sign up for something, forget about it after the trial period ends, and then you're charged month after month after month. The subscriptions are there, but you're not using them. In fact, 85% of people have at least one paid subscription going unused each month. Thanks to Rocket Money, you can see all of your subscriptions in one place and cancel the ones you're not using anymore, and save more money. Rocket Money has helped multiple members of Kinda Funny learn that they're still paying for things they totally didn't even realize. You know who I'm talking about. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/kindafunny today. That's rocketmoney.com/kindafunny. Where do you want to go from here?
I want to shout out the fact that, of course, this is Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, and you talk about that original reveal trailer where you got the Samus logo, and then you get like, oh man, this is Metroid Prime. They're calling it 4. Like, this is the 4th game. And for me, coming in as somebody who's only played through Metroid Prime 1, I was interested to see that, oh, this really is a follow-up. This is a sequel. Yeah. There's a character that shows up where the demo guy looks at me, he's like, eh? And I'm like, I don't know who that is.
And your boy is like, let's go. Yeah. Okay. Now, here's the thing. Real talk, do you need to know?
Probably not. No.
And honestly, something that I'm really excited about, like, yes, this is Prime 4. Yes, there is story stuff. Obviously, it makes it better to know, play the other games. They're fantastic games. Yeah. You should play them if Nintendo would put them out again. Who knows? But what I think is really cool about this is the amount of cutscenes and is the amount of, like, yes, it's Metroid Prime, and that's what we wanted. It's a great thing. I know that a lot of people, I want the most innovative game in the world, and sure, that'd be cool. But I think they're just getting another Metroid Prime now. Fingers crossed, if it's as good as I think this is going to be, will hopefully be the highest selling Metroid game and hopefully convince people and hopefully, you know, blah, blah, blah. But I do think there's a level of polish of, hey, there's a story here and the cutscenes and the characters talking and just like you kind of have a squad with you in the beginning of this and the appearance of that. Did that get you hyped of like, oh, we're going to get a Metroid Prime game that actually has a little bit of a story?
I think for me, it was the thing of good for you guys that like we're able to follow along with Metroid Prime, like have played all the Metroid Primes, right? And like know what's going on here. And I think I'm excited for, yeah, the idea of like, okay, where does this go? What's going on here and all that stuff. But I don't know. Like now I'm like, okay, I might watch a quick recap or something.
Yeah, see, maybe that's it's interesting because like to me, it's, and having played them, I don't really think that this is like a, oh man, like you need to know everything to keep going. It just to me is like, oh, they're trying to tell a story here. Yeah, you know. And I think that
for me, it's like
they'll tell you everything you need to know.
And that,
you know?
well, my thing
but
is,
having only played Prime 1,
yeah,
that is very story light.
Yeah, it's very story light, and like to the point where we start off this one, I'm like, oh, other people, like, oh, there's an army, like shit's going on here. But I look at it more so as like, oh, they're feeding the fans, like they're giving people like it's been so long since a Metroid Prime, right? That like. I could see the idea of people being like, oh, they're probably going to reboot. Oh, they're probably going to like forget about all this shit, right? No, hey, here's returning character that I don't know, but I'm sure Tim Gettys gets hyped about. For me, that's exciting just for the fact of, oh, they're staying true to what this is. And yeah, like I'm hoping that it hits for me, but I didn't necessarily get from this that I'm like, I'm not invested in the story yet, is what I'll say.
Yeah. And I'm all over the place with this. I'm excited like for the feeding the fans and all of that. Yeah. I'm more excited that I think that from what I experienced this, I think they're going to make this game a little bit more digestible for more people. Like I think just having like it's still atmospheric as hell. It's still Metroid, right? But having just that little bit of story bit, like I think the comparisons to Halo aren't just like, oh, the visuals and stuff. It's like the fact that it seems to be like we're getting like a Halo campaign, like an old school Halo campaign style single player here, mixed with all of the Metroid Prime trappings. I think that could like really make a lot of people happy, whether they've played a Metroid Prime before or not. And from playing this demo, that my suspicions seem to be confirmed.
Yeah. We gotta talk about that boss fight.
We got to talk about the boss fight.
They cooked.
They fucking cooked.
That was a fun one.
It was fun, man. I really enjoyed that was when I decided I'm gonna go full mouse mode.
Yeah,
kind of just to see if I can like get used to it and like what my impressions were. And I'm happy I did, because that's when I realized like, oh, there's something cool here. And the boss fight, it was like this big old dude with like kind of these like energy shields on both of his arms. So like blocking a lot. You have to wait for the right weak spots to pop up and like shoot them. And then a big weak spot opens, like classic video game boss stuff, right? But what was cool about it is he would shoot this like energy beam at you, kind of like Star Wars Episode 1, Darth Maul and Obi-Wan, you know what I mean?
Who
like
could forget?
That type of thing. But it shoots it at you and you need to like jump over it, right?
Yeah.
And at first it's just like, oh, the ground. So you jump the ground. But then eventually it's a lot bigger. It's like a fence coming at you. You have to jump over it. But then eventually they start coming at you and you have to turn it into a morph ball.
Yeah, and
to
go
underneath. And I'm like, oh, man.
Like, that's what I'm talking about.
This is Metroid, baby.
This early in the game too, I'm like, oh man, like I like the different phases. I liked how, like they have you doing different things, right? Like you're shooting you start off shooting these different orbs that he has on him, and once you get the orbs down, right, like his big weak spot opens up and you shoot that. But like he had the energy shields that he has on his arm will like block certain orbs and stuff, and I'm like, this is classic right here.
Yeah,
this is some classic game design right here. But then you get into the thing where he's throwing the big energy shield at you, and you're hopping over it, you're going to the morph ball, you're dodging all around, and then also like I like that this early on, assuming that it's early on, right? Like it feels early on in the game. I don't think they actually said that this is the beginning or not.
No,
it
kind of seems like I can see like a cutscene to set it up, and then boom, you're into this, and then title screen, and then maybe it slows down
they didn't set
again.
up where we're at in the game, but it feels early, right? So like, but being at this part of the game and it already being the thing of, all right, missiles, blast, charge up this blast, boom, charge up my blast to collect the collectibles that are on the ground real quick, and then point in, like I'm functioning on that level in a way where I'm like, this is good. Like they nailed this first boss fight.
Scan this thing, go up. Now you're in the vents. You're in the morph ball. It just feels like home, but it also just like you keep saying classic, and oh man, it feels classic. And I mean, Metroid Prime is now an old game.
Yep, that's a classic
25 years old, something like that. 24 maybe. Like that is incredibly dating me. But we're talking about one of the best games of all time, and like sure. Old game is old, but I think old game can be new.
Yes.
I think that Metroid Prime 4 Beyond right now like has the potential to be that. I don't think it's going to change the minds of people that are going into this of like first-person shooters aren't this. Metroid Prime. I've been fighting this fight for 25 years. Nintendo fans, Metroid fans, people like, oh, why would you play this? There's Halo right there. It's like, it's not a first-person shooter. It's a first-person adventure. There's puzzle, there's combat, there's so many different elements to it. It's a Metroidvania, but in 3D first-person.
Yeah.
And we haven't got to touch the psychic abilities. We haven't got to.
We didn't get
so
that.
much we don't know.
Yeah.
So you said it earlier. It's like there's not much to break down here because like the demo wasn't that long, but everything we got, I was like,
it gave me faith. I mean, I already had faith before, but I guess this reassured that faith. Playing through this, I'm like, okay, this is exactly what you want it to be. It's exactly what we think it's going to be, and that couldn't excite me more, right?
Yeah.
Like, you make the reference to old game is old, but also old game is good. As somebody who played that old game 2 years ago, old game is still good.
Yeah.
Old game is fire, actually.
And I mean, after almost 10 years since they announced this, it's so nice that we know when it's coming. It's so nice that we have a release date for this game, and I know when I'm going to be playing it.
He lied. We don't have a release date for this game.
Why don't we know? And I get we can't have all the answers at once, but like I will also say on that, I'm very happy it's not at launch because I really, really, really didn't want Nintendo to put this game out to die, especially after this long. And I think putting it out with my Mario Kart as well as the biggest suite of third-party titles ever.
Yeah.
First time CD Projekt Red's ever been at a console launch period. Like, stay out of the way.
Yeah.
Stay out of the way. Let Metroid have its moment. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond so far deserves its moment.
1000%.
Till next time, love you all. Goodbye.
Bonanza.